You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yay! Welcome, America. That's right. It's always life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Me and Rita is back behind Master Control. We just got back off of that big bird from Las Vegas, Nevada, covering the National Hardware Show, the International Building Show that was at the Las Vegas Convention Center this past weekend. It's great to be back. I'd like to welcome all of you to the Invent America segment of our show. Now I'm going to bring in my co-host and my sidekick, the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Hey, Rita, how you doing?
I am fine. It is so nice to be back, and so much happened last week. I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Yeah, they had over 3,200 exhibitors between all three shows, and they combined all the shows together, and it made it really feasible for all of us, and I tell you, I could barely keep my voice up. There was a lot of talking, a lot of walking, and but hey, we got through it. And you had a great time. You were displaying the at the Inventor Show, the Inventor Lady booth. That's where I was broadcasting. And next week we're going to have some inserts of some of them interviews next week, and I'm proud to let our audience know that. But what was your take on the show, Rita?
Well, just your play on words there where you said it was the Inventor Lady show, I'm not sure that they will appreciate that, but I do. So for us, it was a great show. We were in a wonderful location this year, 600 square foot island, right in the middle of the entrance area. So people were going down both sides of our booth, and it was just, everybody was like, oh my God, you must have paid for this placement. Yes, I did. But it was a really good placement, and you don't always get to be where you want, but it's nice that we've kind of worked our way up in the pecking order to be in the front. We've already signed our contract for next year. I've had people already signing up for next year. We had one gentleman who's going to be on, our first guest, won the Retailer's Choice Award, which is always exciting. And then we had several others that were invited to be up on stage to present their products to the crowd that was out there. A lot of media coming over and taking pictures and doing, their thing, but with our inventors. And so it always makes us feel good, But, the coverage is nice, but it's those buyers that show up that say, when can I order this? It's the sponsors and the suppliers that show up and say, we need to talk about getting this into our stores. And one of the interesting things is, we had a product there that is like, I understand the product, and in fact, I had to present his product on stage, but I don't know if this is the right show for the product. Would you believe that this guy had more hits on his thing? All right, it's a glove mold, but none of us realize that all those plastic gloves we have been using over the last 3 years, they're full of holes.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's been doing research for 20 years with his dad, and they now have a mold and a process that will not put any holes It costs less to make. They will make more per minute, and there will be no holes in it.
Wow.
And so he had manufacturers. The timing was perfect for him. He went with us last year, but this year, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about, is why you go multiple years in a row, is because now after this huge rush and now things are calming down, all those glove factories are retooling and they're ordering new molds.
That's right. Now
that's exactly what he is.
Now you had about 25 Inventor exhibitors in your booth, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So just about everybody who goes with us, they're looking for licensing. The majority of the ones that go, and get their own space down in the Inventor Spotlight sections, they're more in startup mode, which is fine. Most inventors, when they really do the numbers, it's like, okay, we really don't want to go there because they're looking at $250,000 to $500,000 just to get things teed up and ready to be, placed in a store. And most inventors really, they don't want a second mortgage of the house to do that. They would much rather say, you know what, let's do some licensing and let somebody else do the heavy lifting and the product liability and all of that kind of stuff. So we've got some good lessons learned out of the show by the different inventors, and they're going to be sharing that with the audience, with our audience, so that they can be better prepared when they say, okay, I've got an idea. What do I do now?
Well, Rita, you made some real good points there. And, but, like I always say, if you're not going to be a one-trick pony, you might really consider that licensing deal,
Exactly. And I think that's what we're all about, is sharing with our listeners the lessons learned, so that instead of it just being the magic of meeting that one inventor, now we are sharing with the entire audience all of the lessons that we've learned.
Well, I could tell you, when I was taping our show for next week, and we got some good sound bites that we're going to be playing next week, we had, I counted 4 or 5 potential inventors that actually came to the booth and heard about you, and hey, I heard, are you the Inventor Lady? And so it's good exposure, not just for your exhibitors, but the success or failure of your organization is at stake here. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to.
Exactly. Exactly. We get inventors all the time that are coming up and saying, I want to go next year. I want to be here next year with you. And, where they just, do you have time to look at my idea? And it's like, I need you to call me after the show and we can do a video call. But my inventors here have paid to have my full attention.
Yeah, that's right.
With them. And so I focus on the inventors who are there and what's going on. And, I'll take time to visit with some of the inventors who come by, but really try to get them to, call me after the show so that we can talk about it. But, I'll get inventors that's like, why am I not here with you this year? And it's like, I don't know. I've been here for 15 years. Right. I'm not really hard to find. So, it's good for that. And, good inventors, a lot of them have already started the steps to have on the show with us. Yep,
that's right. And of course, too, if they went over there by themselves, they're going to spend between $10,000 and $15,000 in expenses just by themselves. So when you can have one massive place that's going to attract all these potential clients and manufacturers, it's just a good cost-effective way to get exposure. Rita?
Exactly, and that's why we do it.
Well, Rita, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, you were going to have some of your inventors on the show. I think our first guest is going to be Mr. Dave Fegel. He's going to be our guest. So stay tuned. I am the Cajun man from the Bayou Land, the originator, not the duplicator. I am the Cajun contractor, Michael King, along with the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton, my co-host and sidekick. This is the Invent America segment of our show of Home Talk USA, right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network, streaming live on the World Wide Web at GCNlive.com. Let's step away, and I hope you come right back. We will be right back with some new guests, new topics, as we talk to some of the outstanding inventors from around the globe. I'm the Cajun Man. Along with Rita, we'll be right back. Yay!
Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back, all of you. That's right, we behind Master Control. Me and Miss Rita, we just got back off that big bird from Las Vegas, Nevada, covering the National Hardware Show, the International Building Show, and the Kitchen and Bath Show. All three shows were combined together. Rita, who's our first guest?
Our first guest today is Steve Boden. He actually lives in Las Vegas, and he has been a longtime inventor. I met him years ago when he showed in the Inventor Lady space, when it was a little space, and he's been very successful in all of his endeavors. So we are just so pleased to have Steve with us. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So what we're talking about today is just the value of going to these shows multiple times. And because some of our inventors in our booth, they had a great show, but this is like their third year. You came with us. You have been going to these shows since 1995. The product that you had when you were with us was called TV SoundScoopZ, and it was for people. You tell the story because it's a great story, and you can tell it better than I can. So let everybody know kind of what is the product.
Okay. TV SoundScoopZ is the brand name, and basically what it does is it's a piece of curved ABS plastic that attaches to the back of any TV in the area of the speakers, and it redirects the sound coming out of the TV so that you can hear the conversations on the TV much more clear. And it's really a product that is an alternate to a more expensive sound bar, and works amazingly well.
Well, and I love your story that you had your first invention when you were, 11, and you sold it when you were 13. Way to go.
Oh, well, actually, that was my first business venture. My first invention was a little bit later, and it had to do with inkjet cartridges, where we figured out how to take 10 inkjet cartridges that went in Epson printers and reduce them to 3 products, and then we took that to retail and sold that for years.
Good for you.
In use.
So
yeah.
The conversation today is about going to these shows multiple times. It's not a one-trick pony. In order to really get the value out of them, you've gone multiple times. But the first time you showed TV SoundScoopZ, but it took multiple shows that you got someone to be able to be the reseller for it and then eventually sold the business.
Correct. That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about that adventure.
Sure. I started going to CES, Consumer Electronics Show, back in 1995, and I've gone to SEMA, which is an automobile-oriented show, and then I've gone to the hardware show for years and years. And the reason I go every year is to see what's new, just kind of expand my understanding of products that are out there, ideas that are out there, and meet people. So there's a lot of value to attending the shows on a regular basis.
So, well, I know I enjoy seeing you every year, and I know that music's going to start where we need to go and pay some bills and everything, but I wanted to let you know we appreciate the fact that you let us ship to you every year, and you have a new cooler on the way. It's full.
Oh, thank you. Well, I appreciate that.
That's going to be our secret code there, because nobody nobody else is going to know what that means, but you and I do, and I'm looking forward to, seeing you next year and, again, having you come and walk the booth space with us. Because we reached out to our inventors to get them excited about going so that now they've got a full year to get teed up, get, their patent done, and we can help with that and be able to get involved in a group like the Inventors Roundtable. It's free, and now they can come in and they can talk about what's going on and, ask their questions. Sometimes the best resource is the inventor sitting next to them, even if it is on a virtual screen.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually met several. I met everybody in your booth, and the enthusiasm that everybody has about attending the Inventor Lady's booth is amazing. I mean, they're just, everybody's just very hopeful that they're going to be successful, and you can't be successful if you don't take the first steps. So it's a great venue. Right.
It is, and part of it too is the hardware show is such a misnomer. It should be called the Big Box Store National Show.
Exactly.
Because it covers so many industries.
Yes, it covers, literally every industry that you can think of, including drug, grocery, everything. There's products literally for every retailer.
I always laugh and say, high fashion might be a stretch, but everything else you can kind of throw in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Steve, I'm sorry. Steve, let me ask you this right quick. Steve,
sure.
How many products do you have right now?
Well, we're working on right now we're focusing on a medical product that with one drop of blood, whether it's animal or human, a doctor can measure and understand what a person's pH is, which stands for potential hydrogen, and what that reflects is whether someone's body is acidic or alkaline, and if they're having physical problems, they can be treated much more quickly with our product. So we're hoping to release that to the veterinary world and the medical community this year, and there's nothing like it on the market. It's portable, and it's an amazing product.
Well, Dave, thank you so much. Rita, how can we find out a little bit more information about Dave? He has a website, I think, huh?
Steve is our guest.
Steve.
That's okay. If anybody wants to reach out and get in touch with Steve, shoot me an email. That'll be faster and easier at this point.
Great.
That would be great.
Steve, thank you for being our guest. We got to run. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, thank you so much. Take care.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with another guest, another topic right here on the Invent America radio program, along with my co-host, Miss Rita Crompton. Y'all come back now, you hear? Yeah.
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HometalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HometalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahoo! Welcome back, everyone. That's right. This is the Invent America show, the segment of Home Talk USA. Along with my guests, all our guests and all our topics. We like to talk to inventors, but we're talking about the National Hardware Show right now. Me and Rita is just getting back from the show, and we're having a great conversation, so we want to welcome all of you Rita, now who we have next?
Our next inventor is David Genius Fegel.
The genius.
The genius part, and he understands that. When we were at the National Hardware Show last week, and Dave is at the airport, if you hear any background noise, he won a Retailer's Choice Award, and everybody that saw his product called him a genius. So then it got to be, it's like, and who am I? And it's the genius. So we were very proud of him. Dave, tell us a little bit about your experience at the National Hardware Show.
Wow, it was way over the top from anything I expected. Rita and her crew did a wonderful job. They recruited people to come talk to me about what we had, and it was nonstop. In the 3 days that I was there, they kept me busy enough that from 9 o'clock in the morning till when they quit, I did not have time to go to the restroom. And that's the truth. In 3 days, they had people coming in from all over the world. I was so impressed. We had so many inquiries and interest, not only in our product, but in licensing and everything else. I can't say enough about the job that they did. It was just over the top.
Well, thank you. And you were a wonderful inventor to have as part of the team. One of the things that, that we've noticed is that, a lot of our inventors will go multiple years in a row. And it's just like the gentleman that we just had on. I don't know if you had a chance to meet Steve Boden, but he had gone 1 year with us, and he goes to some of these shows every year. But it wasn't until he had gone a couple of times that he actually found then the right carrier for the product and eventually the buyer for his business. So would you do it again?
Well, it depends on where we are. But for the contacts, yes, I would. I think you're a very worthwhile time. You bring a lot of things to the table. And I've got a few more ideas in my head, which makes it a little scary. But, yeah, I think it's very worthwhile. I think a person gets exposure that you can get nowhere else.
Yeah, it's, being able to be there and have not just a consumer in front of you talking, but a store owner who represents hundreds of consumers and those buyers and suppliers to those other stores. Now you're getting the opinion of 1,000 people going through one set of conversations.
That's true, and I've also got a bunch of orders that I've got to take care of filling. I've got to look at ramping up production. I already have production and shipping and distribution in place. So a lot of people come through and ask questions. I can fulfill orders right now, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing when I get back there. And I'm surprised at the range of places that orders come from, but we're going to do our darndest, and I know this is a giant leap forward for us.
So, well, that's great. I'm so proud of you guys. Now, it was fun because Dave was there with his entire family. There must have been, 12 of you in total? They're supporting you and working in that corner of where your show was, where your display was. It was fun to see the support that you brought with you.
I do have a lot of support from my family. They're all encouraging, and they as well were all impressed with the whole show and everything that went on. It was a good experience.
Well, good. I'm so glad. It's interesting because, every once in a while, Michael will say, well, our young inventors, David is 79 years young. And, if you look around our booth, the majority of our inventors were over 60.
Well, you have to be 50 years old before you get a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, Rita, the age of the inventors that was in the booth with elderly individuals with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience,
Yeah, I've looked at it. Sometimes it's, at that point where they're getting, a little bit older, that they've got some money to put into something. They've got enough experience to, like Dave said, that's when they really get the aha moments. I don't know, male, female, it really doesn't matter. It tends to be people that are a little bit older that have those really good aha moments and have then the drive and fortitude to move forward and take those first steps. And I think a lot of times at that point now they're willing to listen to the steps as opposed to just jumping in with both feet and floundering sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the most important part, is get your ducks in a row and line things up that you're going to need, and listen to people that know what the steps are, rather than just think you're a genius and get a best idea in the world.
Yeah. Also, Dave, also consistency plays a big part in all of this, just to be consistent. And, just don't try to, exhibit your product just one time. Because, again, it just takes, a revolving type of consistency to because at the end of the day, you never know who's going to walk up to the booth. You never know who you're going to talk to. You never know.
That's true.
And somebody's liable to change your life right there on the spot.
Well, that's it's going to be interesting next few weeks. I'll tell you that. Maybe the next year, it's going to be very interesting.
So, Dave, where you go from here, Dave? Where are you going from here? I mean, what you got up your sleeve coming up? Anything interesting you working on?
Well, I've got to work on handling the situation as far as the number of products and where they're going from here when I get back, and what we've got ready to ship and what I can make available to ship and that sort of thing. So those are my first priorities. Well, and I'm going to sort things out and go over things with Rita and see who we've got in the order of their importance, and sort down through it, because we got a ton of information.
All right, well, let's get that website in. I think your website is cleancansolutions.com, right?
That's correct.
Just spell it out, cleancansolutions.com, and you also can go to the Inventor Lady website. She also has some information on you also. On behalf of Rita, we definitely want to thank you for being our guest, my buddy.
Well, thank you for the help. I appreciate it. Call back anytime. I'm usually not busy. I'm retired.
All right. We're gonna step away. Got to pay some bills. Check our website out at HometalkUSA.com. I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King. We are streaming live on the World Wide Web at the Genesis Communication Radio Network. That's at GCNlive.com. On behalf of Rita, we're going to step away. We're going to be right back with another guest, another topic, right here on the Invent America segment of our show, Home Talk USA. Yay!
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HometalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HometalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. That's right. We are streaming live on the World Wide Web at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. We also invite all of you to check out our television show at HomeTalkTV.com. That's HomeTalkTV.com. Rita, wow, we had a great trade show, and one of the gentlemen that we're going to talk to right now is Michael Miller. I think he's your product expert, right?
He is our product expert, and I met him at the National Hardware Show a long time ago, and he was actually then licensing a product that I had helped the inventor with. Michael, thank you so much for joining us, because you've been going to trade shows for a long, long time, and so you've seen inventors as they've progressed through the steps at the trade shows. And so share from your point of view why it's so important for inventors to, get to the show multiple times.
Absolutely, and thank you, Michael, and thank you, Rita. Even at the National Hardware Show here, this past one here last week, saw at least 8 companies that were there where I remember the owner of that company, the inventor of the product, with the, sitting there at the trade show with their single product, very first time prototype, and now they're multi-million-dollar companies. It's just absolutely fantastic. The exposure that your product gets, the comments that you get from the people that are walking the show, and also the ability to meet with your customers, your Lowe's, your Home Depots, your Aces, and a lot of the other smaller retailers that will be the folks that actually bring your product in. It's just amazing.
It is, and the economy shifts a little bit, the market shifts a little bit, technology shifts a little bit every year. So one year you might not meet quite the right person, and the next year you do. You just never know where they are in a particular year, in a particular mindset of what they're looking for.
Absolutely, and I would say this year is just an absolutely fantastic year to have a new product. If you think about it, all these companies downsized and really didn't, because of the supply chain issues, were not really looking to expand their product lines. And so they really kind of faltered as far as the new products and new product improvements. And now everybody is scrambling to really try to find those next new products. And so now is just absolutely perfect for that. And that's what I heard from a lot of the people that were at the trade show, and just the amount of activity of companies looking for new products was just phenomenal.
Well, your insight for our inventors, where you were kind of working and basing out of our booth, was invaluable. They learned a lot from you, where you'd go out and scout for their product and then be able to come back and give them some insights. So I want to thank you so much for being our product expert at the show.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. What a great group of folks, and just some really amazing inventions that you had there at the show this year.
Mike, let me chime in just for a second before we have to step away. I know you had a chance to walk the show. Did you see anything maybe that struck your eye while you was walking the floor?
I would say that the thing that really struck my eye that I had mentioned here just a few minutes ago was the lack of innovation at a lot of the companies. And a lot of the people that know me at some of the different companies, the very first thing was, wow, what new stuff is at the show this year? What are the new things? We really need some products. And that's what really struck me. Of course, there were a lot more crowds, at the show this year, post-pandemic and everything. But really, that need for innovation is stronger now than I've seen it in many, many years.
Yeah, and I think as smart homes expand and technology expands, electronics expands, you're right. But I think the last 3 years, when this country got shut down, I think that was also the problem. So we're probably 5 years behind the 8 ball now. In China, that's a show for another day, but China's just going to surpass us now big time unless we start doing what we do, invent things and coming up with things. And that's what's good about Rita with the Invent America show. She's never going to let it die. She's always going to go out there and try to find something, that's out there, Well, we got to step away. We got to run again. We got to take a break. Got to pay some bills. Michael Miller, the product expert for the Invent America, Invent Lady, but Invent Lady herself, Rita. We're gonna take a short break. We're gonna be right back, wrapping up. Me and Rita. Y'all stay tuned. Yay!
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. Pretty much wrapping up this hour of the Invent America show, which is a part of the Home Talk USA radio family. We are streaming live on the World Wide Web at HomeTalkUSA.com. You can also catch us on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com every Saturday from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock Central Time. That's when we're live. That's when I'm behind the famous golden hammer microphone, taking calls, answering emails. And then the second hour is the Invent America show. But, Rita, wow, it's going to take me a couple days to get back in focus, but what a great show as always.
Thank you, and we've got great inventors, so we just put it together into a great show.
All right, we're going to step away. Got to run till next week. On behalf of the Inventor Lady herself, Rita Crompton, this is the Cajun contractor, Michael King. See you next week. Yay! So long. All right.
Home Talk USA with Michael King is produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolificarts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Bonide, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of Instabind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deckrite, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com.
Yay!